All right, we're here with Michael Fanone. Michael, this one is right up your alley. It's perfect that you're on. Did you hear what the President of the United States said recently, just recently, about protesters will be met with heavy force if they get out and protest his fucking parade?
Yes. So if you come to DC and protest his big, beautiful birthday bash, where he exploits American military members for his own personal gratification, you will be met with extreme force. I think that's all the more reason that, as many people who can, I certainly will be there in Washington, D.C. On the 14th protesting. I was going to do something local where I'm at in Virginia, but because Donald Trump threatened me as an American citizen, I'm going to come to his bullshit birthday party and protest.
You think that I should just do it here in New York, or you think that I should? You're a target too. I'm a target. I'm not worried about protesting. I'll get out there and protest, but there are some people that may they would want to target us and hurt us just because of who we are. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I don't want to be in a place that's going to draw the attention away from the people who need it, and that's the protesters. So I don't know. Should I come to DC? What do you think?
I mean, I was hoping that there would be a huge coalition of people, especially coming from the Substack community, because so much of what we're about is entrenched in this moment. This is 250 years of history in this country that have led to what we're experiencing right now. And, it is the ultimate test of what are we made of? So I'll be here, Don. And if you make your way down here to DC, I'll be standing right next to you. So just let me know.
Yeah, but can you protect me?
I'll do my best.
Do you still have some of the things that you used as a police officer to protect folks? If you do, I'm good.
I have better things now, Don.
Seriously. Okay. I may think about that. I might just do that, but I'm wondering too if there are going to be protests here in New York, because New York gets a lot of attention, and Trump Tower is here, and I'm sure people are going to be protesting out in front of Trump Tower. So I'm trying to decide between New York City and Washington D.C. I had planned to just go live on my channel all day, sitting in my home studio here, and then if something broke out in New York City, I don't know. But that's a question, honestly. Let's talk about that I think many people in America are facing, especially since Donald Trump is saying, let's, extreme, what did he say? Extreme force. That is a question. That's a dilemma, I believe, for a lot of people. Should I go and risk being hurt, or should I protest some other way? I think, and I think that he's trying to get people to stay home. But what do you think?
I think that's exactly right. I think that he's trying to get people to stay home. I mean, listen, Donald Trump does hold a tremendous amount of power. He controls the American military, and he also controls, these state militias, National Guard. And to a degree, he has a great degree, or tremendous influence over American law enforcement. That being said, I don't think that Donald Trump telling the press that if you come to his birthday bash and protest, that he's going to, that you'll be met with extreme force is actually going to have any real influence over the way that law enforcement officers behave towards protesters. He might want them to. He might be trying to signal to them that it's okay. But at the end of the day, police officers are trained professionals. Obviously there's always some, pieces of shit in the bunch, but for the most part, I don't think you're going to see anything like you experienced during the civil rights movement. But I could be wrong.
Well, Anastasia says the more people who come out, the safer it will be. She's saying that in the chat. Is there truth that there's safety in numbers when in protests? Are they just going to trample all over people, like with
No,
the horse in Los Angeles?
Yeah, no, we talked about that yesterday on your YouTube. I mean, that was outrageous. It was just an outrageous, egregious act by law enforcement. That being said, there is truth in the idea that there are safety in numbers. Um, I think that the more people that come out, um, the more, well, the safer that we will be, but also the more, impact that we'll have, um, you know, because it sends a message. If there's tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of, American citizens who join together in protest of what this administration is doing, what it's doing to its own people, to its own citizens. I think, I think that could be incredibly impactful.
Did you see some of the folks in the chat said there were someone, American citizens says, more white people and disabled that come out. We need elderly too. If they come after elderly and white women, disabled, it will make him look weak if they do anything. Do you think he cares about shit like that, about optics?
I mean, no, not really. I don't think he does. Because at the end of the day, what he'll do is, like, I was at this, I met Jolly at a Unite for Veterans rally, and we were out there protesting the administration's cuts of VA benefits for American servicemen and women. And all he'll do is say, like, because military, he likes the military, he likes to prop himself up by using American military and the, you know, force of American military. Well, he'll just say, "Oh, those guys are just a bunch of liberal veterans, just like us." The DC cops and the U.S. Capitol police officers that defended the Capitol on January 6th. Like, "Oh, I love law enforcement, but those guys are just a bunch of liberals. They're liberal cops. Fuck them." And so, at the end of the day, like, we need everybody there. We need all Americans to join together in this moment and fight back against this administration.
Yeah. Sending Marines and National Guard to Los Angeles is going to cost, and this is just in the amount of time. This is just in Los Angeles. Who knows how long that will
$134
take us?
million. dollars.
$134 million, and he says he's going to do that all over the country. We're paying for this.
Right. I just want to point out the fact that, $134 million there. Who knows, what, if he replicates this in other cities, $45 million for his birthday party. Imagine what type of an impact you could have using that money to enhance benefits for veterans. So my message to men and women in the American military is, Donald Trump doesn't care about you. He's exploiting you. Donald Trump is using you to for optics. You have no business going into an American city. You can't play any role there in a law enforcement capacity. You're essentially going to be part of, this fear campaign that this administration is subjecting all of us to.
Stand by for a word from our sponsors. Support for the Don Lemon Show comes from Beam. Summer's almost here. And let's be honest, that doesn't mean that we can slow down and take a break. The news cycle is relentless. Every day we get served up a new outrage designed to overwhelm us, take us out of the fight. This is the right trying to scare us. They want us to get burnout. They want us to tune out to what's happening, and they want us to roll over. But we can counteract that by waking up every single day ready, refreshed, and energized. That's why I turn to Beam's Dream Powder. It is a natural sleep blend. It is designed to help you get the deep restorative rest your body and mind need to stay in the fight. Because here's the truth. You cannot sustain the fight without rest. Burnout serves the people in power who love nothing more than to see you exhausted and to see you checked out. With science-backed ingredients like reishi, magnesium L-theanine, apigenin, and melatonin, Dream helps you fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up ready to organize, resist, and raise hell without the fog or the crash. Since I've started using Dream, my focus has come back, my energy is returned,
I am ready to face the day, ready to stand up for the things that really matter. And I'm not the only one. Beam's Dream Powder has improved over 17.5 million nights of sleep for people all across the country. Oh, and did I mention it tastes incredible? It's smooth, it's delicious, and it's easy to add to your nightly routine. Simple, effective, and it works. So right now, Beam is offering up to 40% off their best-selling Dream Powder for my listeners. It is a limited time offer and the perfect way to overcome that exhaustion and stay in the fight every day. So go to shopbeam.com and use the code word lemon at checkout. That is shop, BEAM.com/lemon, and use the code LEMON for up to 40% off. Sleep well, wake up ready. The fight continues.
Michael, I don't know what we do because you are the one out of all of us. I've experienced intimidation. I've had death threats. I've had all of that. But I mean, um, you have experienced the when people come out and they try to hurt other people. You have experienced a riot and insurrection. It's quite different circumstances, but still, you got hurt and you're not afraid to go out. I just wonder in this moment if you think that January 6th was the thing that set all of this off. And I think I asked you this question yesterday. And if you think the pardoning of those rioters, those un-American criminals, do you think the pardoning of this is emboldening people to do what they do and emboldening Donald Trump to do what he's doing with this, sending the National Guard out into the streets on American
No, I,
citizens?
I have no doubt in my mind. I mean, listen, we live in a country now that is not ruled by the rule of law. You have one set of rules and laws for people like you and I, people who are in opposition to what this administration stands for. And those rules will be applied uh, full throated. But if you stand in, um, if you are a supporter of this administration or a participant in this administration, you will be subjected to no accountability whatsoever. And if you are, in some instance, you will be pardoned. Ed Martin has already said no MAGA will be left behind. And he is the, lead pardon attorney for the Department of Justice.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Michael, I honestly, I don't know what to say to you. I'm enraged, I'm exasperated, and I'm exhausted all at the same time. Because look, we tried to warn you about this, Michael and I, back in the day when the insurrection happened. I tried to warn you about this in 2016 and tell you what we were up against. As we get closer to 2024, Kamala Harris tried to warn folks about it, that he was going to turn members of the military on American citizens, and they said she had Trump derangement syndrome. They called her a liar, and still, as it turns out, she was right.
Yeah, I mean, we're like 6 months into the administration, and he's already deploying active duty military personnel onto the streets of an American city. And I think Americans should really think about what that means. This hasn't happened, I think, in 60 years. So it hasn't happened in my lifetime. And the unit that was deployed, this, unit from the United States Marine Corps, whose nickname is the War Dogs. These are American men and women, service members, who are trained killers. They are trained to fight America's wars, to kill America's enemies. They are not trained in de escalation tactics. They are not trained American law enforcement personnel. And so, even if Donald Trump is using them for optics, you remember what happened in Kent State? You
Mm-hmm.
put armed military personnel in a law enforcement role, and you end up with kids getting gunned down for no reason. You introduce firearms into a scenario, you're making it more dangerous than it has to be, especially when you're dealing with, again, a civilian law enforcement situation, but you're utilizing American military personnel. This should terrify, horrify, and anger every single American.
Why do you think you also talked about this, the apathy that you believe has taken hold of the American people, and your concern, you believe it happened after January 6th. My concern, and I think it's your concern as well, is that the very same thing could happen with this, and then that just emboldens him.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, we're dealing with a pandemic in this country of indifference, and too many Americans were indifferent about January 6th. It didn't directly affect them, um, and quite frankly, they just didn't care. And now we see, in this administration, and it is by design. Trump is targeting certain groups that I believe, he feels don't necessarily appeal to the vast majority of Americans. Who cares about immigrants? Venezuelans, El Salvadorians, South and Central Americans. Like the average American doesn't care. And then he spent really the better part of a decade now telling the American people through his right wing media apparatus that all of these people are rapists and killers and thugs and drug dealers and human traffickers. And so I think, at least within his support, his supporters, you're not going to see people stand up and say that this is wrong. They've been, for lack of a better term, brainwashed. And then, like you said earlier in the show, Don, too many Americans are scared to stand up because they're afraid of what the, repercussions might be.
What do you think? What do you think Saturday's going to look like in DC and around the country? I know you don't have a crystal ball, but you're a smart man.
I mean, I think Trump is going to have his military parade. I think that a lot of Americans are going to show up. They're going to protest. I think those protests are going to be peaceful. I think that there most certainly will be arrests made because that's what Donald Trump wants. I don't think that should deter anyone. It certainly doesn't deter me. Again, you've got to be willing to put some skin in the game at this point. And I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing it for my kids and the people that I love. But yeah, I mean, I think that, unfortunately, the right wing media, Fox News, and all of those, bullshit pseudo entertainment networks are going to, portray people like me as anti, um, servicemen, anti-veteran, anti-American military, which couldn't be further from the truth. I'm a real supporter of American women and men who serve this country. I'm somebody who understands service and sacrifice, and some of my closest friends are American service members. What I'm protesting and what this country is protesting is the exploitation of these men and women who are prepared to give make the ultimate sacrifice on behalf of the rest of us. And also the lawless deployment of these individuals against their fellow citizens.
If anybody's watching this, what's your message to them, Michael?
I mean, it's time to ante up and kick in. This moment really does require everyone. I'm like, I'm like Jolly. Like at this point, there's a time I think for reflection and to talk about, who fucked around and found out and whatnot. But at this moment, every American needs to stand up and stand together and care.
Yeah. Someone in the chat said, I hear the hotels are empty in Washington, D.C. I don't know about that. I'll check on it. But I know during the inauguration, they were slow because I called to get a room and they were offering me discounts during the inauguration. So I know that. And I was like, wow, people aren't really going to show up, but he'll tell you it's the biggest crowd in history. But Mike, I think I might have to come to DC, brother. I
Hey,
think you got to stand up. I kept saying the protest is going to be big in New York. I want to get out in New York and show people what's happening. But I think maybe the place to be is DC, um, to and not just to get where the action is, but because I think it sends a message. I think it's important for all of us.
I'll make you a sign.
What is it going to say?
I I don't know. I'll figure that out. Although if you're watching, middle finger guy, he shows up at all the protests with this giant cardboard middle finger. I don't have a lot of money, but I will pay you good money if you will make me a cardboard middle finger. Have you seen it, Don? Have you seen this?
No, are you aware?
No, it's a giant. He made a giant cardboard middle. It's like a fist.
Yes.
And then he pulls this string, and the fist says like "power to the people,"
And it goes.
and then the finger goes up, and it says like "fuck Trump." Every time I've seen it in like 10 different places. It makes me laugh my ass off. I'm not that artistically, like I'm not gifted in any way of making any arts and crafts,
You're not
but
crafty.
I'm not crafty. But I will buy it from you, sir, or rent it so that I can give Trump the middle finger. Because I would imagine that he's going to ride around in some maybe he'll ride on a tank.
Oh God.
Um,
In a Trump mobile, like a Pope mobile.
It'll be, yeah. I mean, of course he's going to have the glass, because he's a pussy. But he's going to ride around and he'll have a glass encasement on top of like a tank.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
but hopefully the tanks just fall through the streets like he was warned, during his first administration, and the parade won't get very far.
Yeah. Well, Mike, check your text. I sent you something. I think it's important, but don't read it now. Don't repeat what I said. I don't know if you've seen it yet. Mike, I appreciate it. And you promised me you're going to protect me if I come, because I might do it.
Yeah, if you come, we'll be together. We'll go down together, Don.
Michael Fanone, thank you. Make sure you follow Michael Fanone's channel. It is just Michael Fanone, right? On Substack?
Yes, Michael
Yes.
Fanone on Substack. Official Michael Fanone on Instagram. I also dropped a whole bunch of like super offensive T-shirts in my merch. So if you're looking for something to wear on the 14th, go ahead and grab those. There's some bumper stickers too. Check it out.
Well, you're going to promote yours. I'm going to promote mine. That is the Don Lemon merch store on Shopify. You can go there, just go to the YouTube page and go to the main screen. You can figure out where it is. We dropped some new stuff as well. And also check out Michael and I have a podcast, struggling only because we're not consistent. But it's called Friendly Fire. I don't know if you're going to be available on Thursday, but I'd like to shoot it on Thursday where we can talk. All right, brother. Love you.
All right. Love you too,
I'll
man.
see you.
Thanks everyone for watching. Your support means the world to us. So make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe to our channel to make sure that you never ever miss a video. We're live every day, 10 a.m. Eastern time. We drop even more content at 2 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern. And if you want more Don Lemon Show content, we'd love for you to become a member of the Lemon community, where you will receive access to special community posts. You'll get exclusive content and members-only live shows. So head over to our channel page or click the join button on this video. Again, thank you for watching. We appreciate your love and your support, and we will see you next time.